When was the last time you looked in the mirror and truly recognized the person staring back at you? Not the face, not the smile you force for the world, but the soul behind your eyes. Deep down, you know there's a version of you that is stronger, bolder, and freer than the one you're living as today. But somewhere along the way, you stopped fighting for that person. You got comfortable in routines, in fears, and excuses. And without even realizing it, you built a prison for yourself. A prison with invisible walls made of doubt, regret, and hesitation. You tell yourself you're waiting for the right moment to change. But the truth is, the right moment is not coming. The only moment you have is now. There is an old version of you, the one who accepts less than they deserve, who stays silent when they should speak, who hides from opportunities because they fear rejection. That version is heavy. It keeps you small. And unless you decide to destroy it, it will follow you for the rest of your life, whispering lies that you're not ready, not good enough, not worthy. But here's the truth you've been avoiding. You are more than enough. You have always been enough. The only thing standing in your way is the story you keep telling yourself. This is not about pretending to be fearless. It's about deciding that fear will not dictate your choices anymore. It's about tearing down the walls you've built, even if your hands bleed while doing it. Because on the other side of that destruction is the life you've been craving. The life where you walk into rooms without shrinking, where you speak without apologizing, where you chase your dreams without asking for permission. That life is not a fantasy. It's waiting for you, but it demands the death of the old you. Every second you delay, the old you grows stronger. It knows your habits, your weaknesses, your comfort zones. It will fight to keep you exactly where you are because change is dangerous to it. But you have a choice right now to keep living on autopilot or to take control and shatter the cycle. If you stay until the end of this message, you will feel something shift inside you, a force you've been carrying all along but forgot was there. You'll see that your limits are illusions and that your potential is limitless. So listen closely. The journey ahead will not be easy, but it will be worth it. Every scar, every stumble, every moment of doubt will be proof that you are becoming unshakable. By the time we are done, the old you will be nothing more than a shadow, and the real you, the unstoppable, unapologetic, unbreakable you, will finally be free. The old you survives because you feed it with hesitation, with overthinking, with the constant replay of past mistakes. You give it power every time you choose comfort over growth. But comfort is a slow poison. It numbs you until you no longer notice your own decline. Growth is uncomfortable for a reason. It demands that you step into uncertainty, that you face the unknown without guarantees. And while that may terrify you, it is also the place where every breakthrough begins. Nothing extraordinary is born from the safety of the familiar. The life you dream of will only appear once you are willing to walk into the fire without looking back. You've been told to wait until you feel ready, but readiness is a trap. If you wait for fear to disappear, you will wait forever. The truth is, courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act in spite of it. Every person you admire once stood where you are now, battling doubt, facing resistance, hearing the same inner voice telling them to stay small. The difference is, they acted anyway. You have that same choice in this very moment, and it will define everything that comes next in your life. Every excuse you hold on to is a chain around your potential. I don't have enough time. I'm not experienced enough. It's too risky. These words feel like protection, but they are a disguise for fear. Strip them away and you will see the truth, that you are capable of far more than you've dared to believe. But capability means nothing without action. You could carry the greatest idea in the world, the deepest ambition, the purest desire to change, but if you never move, it dies inside you, and the old you lives on. There is a part of you that already knows this. That's why you feel restless. That's why you're drawn to messages like this. It's because something in your spirit is screaming for freedom. It's tired of watching you play small. It's begging you to take the risk, to make the leap, to burn the bridge to who you used to be. You have been surviving when you were meant to be thriving. That's not just a loss for you, it's a loss for the world. Because when you step fully into who you were meant to be, you don't just change your own life, you inspire others to do the same. Right now, you are standing on the edge of two lives, the one you have and the one you're capable of. One requires nothing from you except that you stay the same. The other demands everything but will give you more than you've ever imagined. The question is not whether you can do it. The question is whether you will choose it. The choice to transform will never feel convenient. It will not arrive with a clear path, a perfect plan, or a guarantee of success. It will come as a quiet but relentless pull in your chest, urging you to move even when every part of you wants to stay still. That is the moment you must listen, because if you ignore it, the pull will turn into regret. Regret is not loud at first. It's a whisper you barely notice. But over time, it becomes a voice you cannot silence, reminding you of what you could have been, of the life you could have lived if only you had been brave enough to take the first step. The old you clings to comfort like a drowning person clings to a piece of driftwood, not realizing it's keeping you stuck in the middle of the ocean. Letting go feels like death, but it is the only way to swim toward shore. You will be tempted to negotiate with your old self, to change a little here and there without fully committing. But partial change is an illusion. You cannot plant one foot in the past and expect to walk into the future. Transformation demands total surrender. You must be willing to let the old patterns, the old beliefs, the old fears burn away completely. Every fear you face is an invitation to grow. The discomfort you feel is not a signal to stop, but a sign that you are on the right path. Growth feels heavy because you are shedding the weight of years spent carrying a false identity. You are unlearning the lies you believed about your worth, your potential, and your strength. This process will not be easy, but it will be worth every tear, every moment of doubt, every stumble, because each time you push forward, you are rewriting the script of your life. There is power in deciding that the past has no authority over your future. You are not defined by the mistakes you made, the chances you didn't take, or the times you fell short. Those moments shaped you, but they do not own you. The moment you decide to rise above them, they lose their hold on you forever. You are not here to repeat the same day for the rest of your life. You are here to evolve, to expand, to step into a version of yourself you've never met but have always carried inside. This is your moment to break the cycle. Not tomorrow, not when circumstances are perfect, not when fear disappears. Now. The old you will not go quietly. It will fight for its survival. But if you keep moving, keep choosing growth over comfort, keep choosing courage over hesitation, there will come a day when you look back and realize you don't even recognize that old version anymore. That day will be the beginning of everything. The transformation you seek begins with a single non-negotiable decision: to never again betray yourself for the sake of comfort, approval, or fear. This is the line you draw in your life, the moment you stop tolerating anything that keeps you small. The world will not hand you freedom. It will test you, distract you, and tempt you to return to the patterns that once felt safe. But safety is not the same as fulfillment. Safety can become a cage, locking you away from the very life you were born to experience. You were not designed to merely survive. You were built to rise, to expand, to leave behind proof that you existed with purpose. There is a shift that happens when you decide you will no longer live as a shadow of yourself. You stop waiting for the perfect circumstances and start creating them. You stop asking for permission to be who you are and start owning it without apology. You realize that every excuse you've been using is a wall you built, brick by brick, and now you have the power to tear it down. That tearing down will feel uncomfortable. It will strip away identities you've worn for years, relationships that no longer align, and habits that no longer serve you. But in that destruction is the birth of your true self. Every fear that rises inside you is nothing more than an echo of the old you. It has no real power unless you give it permission to control you. Fear thrives in silence and inaction. The moment you confront it, the moment you act despite it, it begins to shrink. And as it shrinks, you grow. You grow into a life where your voice is steady, your presence is unshakable, and your choices reflect not who you were, but who you have chosen to become. This is not about perfection. This is about alignment. Living in a way that matches the truth you've always known about yourself deep inside. That truth may have been buried under doubt, criticism, or the expectations of others, but it never died. It is still there, waiting for you to strip away the noise and hear it clearly again. When you begin living from that place, you stop chasing approval and start attracting respect. You stop settling for what's available and start demanding what's possible. You cannot step into this new life halfway. The old you will try to bargain for survival, to convince you to take smaller risks, to hold on to familiar pain. But the person you are becoming does not negotiate with limitations. They break them. They walk through the fear, through the uncertainty, and claim what is theirs. And when you do that, when you choose the new you without hesitation, you will never again feel the need to go back. Because forward will finally feel like home. You have carried the weight of old fears and limiting beliefs for far too long. These invisible burdens have shaped your thoughts, your choices, and the way you see yourself. But what if you chose to lay them down today? What if you refuse to carry the past into your future? This refusal is a powerful act of self-love and courage. It signals that you are ready to embrace the unknown and that you value your own growth more than the comfort of familiarity. Change will ask everything from you, but it will give you everything you've ever wanted in return. The question is, are you ready to give yourself permission to become who you truly are? Your mind will try to protect you by clinging to old stories, the stories of failure, inadequacy, and doubt. These stories have been told so many times that they feel like facts, but facts can be rewritten. You are not your past mistakes. You are not the voice of criticism inside your head. You are a being of immense potential, waiting for the moment you decide to step fully into your power. The moment you choose to reject the lies and replace them with truth, the truth that you are worthy of greatness, that your dreams are valid, and that your life is a canvas waiting for your boldest colors. Transformation requires honesty. Brutal, unfiltered honesty with yourself. You must face the parts of you that have been hiding in the shadows, the fears you've been avoiding, and the habits that have held you hostage. This honesty is not comfortable, but it is liberating. When you shine a light on these shadows, they lose their grip. You begin to see yourself not as broken, but as a work in progress, a masterpiece in the making. Every step forward is a stroke of the brush painting a new version of who you can be. Commitment to change means showing up every day, even when the motivation fades. It means pushing through the resistance that tells you to quit. Your old self will resist because it fears losing control. But control is an illusion when it's rooted in fear. True control comes from surrendering to the process of growth and trusting that you are being shaped into something stronger. Each moment of discomfort, each challenge, is a sign that you are breaking free from your limitations and moving toward freedom. The new you is not a distant dream. It is already inside you, waiting for you to claim it. The longer you delay, the more time you spend living a life that does not reflect your true potential. But it is never too late to begin. Every choice you make today has the power to reshape your tomorrow. Choose courage, choose growth. Choose to break the cycle that has held you back for so long. This is your time to rise, to shine, and to become everything you were always meant to be. Change is not a distant event. It is a daily choice, a constant act of courage that requires you to confront yourself honestly and without compromise. Every morning you wake up, you decide whether to live by the patterns that keep you trapped or to take a step toward freedom. The comfort of old habits feels safe because it is familiar, but safety is the enemy of growth. Real transformation demands that you break the cycle, break the routine, and break free from the chains of complacency. It asks you to embrace uncertainty with open arms, to move forward even when the path is unclear, and to trust that your resilience is greater than your fear. Your mind is a battlefield where your future is won or lost. The thoughts you entertain shape your emotions and dictate your actions. When you fill your mind with doubt and hesitation, you reinforce the prison of the old you. When you choose to feed it with belief, determination, and unwavering self-respect, you begin to dissolve the walls of limitation. This shift does not happen overnight, and it will not come without struggle. But every moment you invest in reprogramming your mindset is a brick removed from the fortress that holds you captive. Fear will try to disguise itself as reason, safety, and logic. It will whisper that you are not ready, that the risk is too high, that you will fail. These lies are designed to keep you motionless, stuck in a version of life that feels easier but emptier. Courage is not the absence of these fears, it is the decision to move forward regardless. It is stepping into the unknown with the belief that whatever comes, you will handle it. This belief is your superpower. It transforms hesitation into action, weakness into strength, and doubt into unwavering confidence. Remember, transformation is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming real, stripped of the masks and pretenses that have held you back. It is about embracing your flaws, your scars, and your history, while choosing to write a new story that aligns with your highest self. This new story will not be dictated by the limitations of your past, but by the limitless potential of who you are becoming. You are not here to repeat yesterday. You are here to redefine tomorrow. The old you is not your enemy, but a reminder of what you have outgrown. To break free from it, you must commit to daily acts of bravery, small choices that challenge your comfort zones and build your inner strength. This commitment creates momentum, and momentum turns into transformation. The more you choose growth over stagnation, courage over fear, truth over illusion, the more powerful you become. And with that power, you unlock the door to a life where your dreams are not just possible, but inevitable. This journey requires patience, persistence, and faith in yourself. The moment you accept this, you begin to experience a profound shift. You stop looking back at what was lost and start looking forward to all that is waiting for you. The new you is ready, willing, and capable. The only question left is, will you step into that power and break the old you forever? There is a profound power in owning your story, the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are and where you've been. This ownership is the foundation of your transformation. When you stop running from your past and start facing it with courage, the grip it has on you begins to loosen. You realize that your mistakes, failures, and fears are not chains but lessons. Each one has shaped your resilience, your wisdom, and your capacity to grow. The moment you accept this, you release the need to hide, to apologize, or to diminish yourself. You begin to stand tall, unapologetically authentic, and ready to forge a new path. Your inner dialogue is the battlefield where this war for your future is fought. If you continue to feed yourself negative thoughts, doubts, and fears, you strengthen the old you, making it harder to break free. But if you intentionally nurture thoughts of possibility, strength, and hope, you ignite the spark of change. This is not wishful thinking, it is a deliberate act of rewiring your brain to align with the person you want to become. Neuroscience shows that the brain adapts to repeated thoughts and beliefs. When you choose empowering thoughts consistently, you create new neural pathways that support your growth, courage, and confidence. The discomfort you feel during change is not a sign that you're failing. It is proof that you are shedding old skin, leaving behind limiting beliefs and stepping into a wider reality. This discomfort can be the fire that forges your strength or the smoke that suffocates your progress. The difference lies in how you respond. When you lean into the discomfort, embrace the uncertainty, and face your fears head-on, you are training your mind and spirit to become unbreakable. This is the mark of true transformation, not the absence of pain, but the ability to persist and rise despite it. Every challenge you encounter is an opportunity to practice resilience. Resilience is not just about bouncing back, it is about bouncing forward, emerging from adversity stronger, wiser, and more determined. When you cultivate resilience, the old you loses its hold because you prove again and again that you can survive and thrive beyond your past limitations. This is the power of intentional growth. It means you don't wait for circumstances to change, you change your response and evolve regardless. Transformation demands accountability. It requires that you take full responsibility for your life and your choices. This might feel daunting because it means letting go of blame, excuses, and victimhood, but it is also liberating because it puts you in control. You become the author of your destiny, capable of rewriting your story with each decision you make. When you commit to this level of accountability, you create a solid foundation for lasting change that no external force can shake. The journey ahead is not easy, but it is necessary. The new you is not born from comfort, but from challenge. It is forged in moments when you refuse to give up, when you choose courage over fear, when you push past the limits set by the old you. This is your call to action, to rise above your doubts, to claim your power, and to break the old you forever. The life waiting for you is more vibrant, more fulfilling, and more authentic than you have ever imagined. It is yours for the taking. You have been living beneath your potential for far too long, held back by invisible chains, forged from doubt and fear. These chains feel unbreakable because they have been reinforced daily by hesitation, self-judgment, and the endless noise of uncertainty. But every chain has a weak link, and that weak link is your choice. You possess the power to break free, to shatter the boundaries that have confined you, and to step boldly into the life you were destined to live. The old you fights to survive because it fears the unknown, but the new you understands that growth comes only through embracing uncertainty and stepping into your true power. It is time to reclaim control of your thoughts, your actions, and your destiny. The moment you accept that you are responsible for the energy you bring into every situation, everything changes. You no longer wait for circumstances to be perfect. You create your own conditions for success by choosing courage daily. Your mindset becomes a force field, protecting you from the negative voices, both internal and external, that attempt to pull you back into comfort and stagnation. When you nurture this mindset, every obstacle transforms into a stepping stone, every failure becomes a lesson, and every fear turns into an opportunity to prove your strength. Let go of the belief that change must be monumental to matter. Small, consistent steps toward your growth accumulate into unstoppable momentum. Each time you choose growth over comfort, you chip away at the old version of yourself. Every moment you act in alignment with your true values, you silence the doubts that try to define you. This persistent commitment to becoming better, not perfect, just better, rewires your brain and reshapes your identity. You become the person who doesn't settle for less because you know your worth is non-negotiable. Resistance will rise as your transformation deepens. The old you will throw everything it has at you: excuses, distractions, and self-sabotage. Recognize these as signs of progress. Resistance means you are breaking free from patterns that no longer serve you. Lean into the discomfort instead of avoiding it. Each uncomfortable moment is a test of your resilience and a confirmation that you are evolving beyond your past limitations. The strength you build through this struggle becomes the foundation of a new life, one where fear no longer dictates your decisions. Your journey toward transformation demands unwavering commitment. Accountability to yourself becomes your most powerful tool. This means owning every choice, every thought, and every emotion. It means refusing to blame circumstances or others for where you are. When you take full responsibility, you gain control. You move from being a passenger in your life to the driver. This shift in perspective unlocks the ability to create lasting change. It reminds you that you hold the pen and that the story of your life is yours to write. The moment you decide to break the old you forever is the moment your life truly begins. It is not about perfection or instant change. It is about relentless progress and unshakable belief in your own power. You are capable of more than you realize, and the path forward is paved with every brave choice you make today. Embrace the journey. Own your transformation. Become the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. True transformation demands relentless honesty with yourself. It requires that you stop hiding behind excuses, justifications, and stories that no longer serve you. Every time you choose to be brutally honest with your feelings, your actions, and your desires, you tear down the walls that have kept you confined. This honesty is uncomfortable because it forces you to confront the parts of yourself you might rather ignore: the fears, the regrets, the patterns of self-sabotage. But within this discomfort lies your greatest power. It is the spark that ignites change and sets your spirit free. You must recognize that the process of breaking the old you is not a straight line. It will feel like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Growth is messy, unpredictable, and sometimes painful. But it is also beautiful because it means you are alive, evolving, and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. The setbacks are not failures. They are feedback, guiding you to dig deeper, rise stronger, and sharpen your focus. Each challenge is an invitation to deepen your commitment to the new you. Your emotions are powerful signals, not obstacles to avoid. Fear, doubt, and discomfort are the body's way of alerting you to change. They are not enemies, but indicators that you are pushing boundaries and expanding your capacity. When you lean into these emotions, acknowledge them without judgment, and keep moving forward, you build emotional resilience. This resilience is the backbone of transformation. It allows you to face life's storms with grace, to remain grounded amid chaos, and to choose growth over comfort every single time. The new you will demand sacrifices. You may need to let go of relationships that no longer align with your growth, habits that keep you stuck, and beliefs that limit your potential. These losses can feel devastating because they represent the familiar, but holding on to what no longer serves you only slows your evolution. True freedom comes from releasing these weights so that you can soar higher than you ever imagined. The pain of letting go is temporary. The liberation that follows lasts a lifetime. Accountability is your greatest ally on this journey. When you take full responsibility for your life, you reclaim your power. You stop blaming external forces and start mastering your inner world. This shift creates a ripple effect. Your mindset transforms, your actions align with your vision, and your results change. Accountability means showing up even when you don't feel like it, staying true to your goals, and refusing to settle for less. It is the fuel that keeps your transformation engine running. Your transformation will not be easy, but it will be worth it. It will require grit, patience, and unwavering faith in yourself. You will stumble, doubt, and face moments when giving up feels like the only option. But remember, every moment you choose to persevere is a victory over the old you. This is the crucible where strength is forged, where courage is born, and where the old you finally breaks, making space for the extraordinary life you are destined to live. The power to change lies within you. Embrace it and become unstoppable. Every moment you hesitate to step fully into your power, you give strength to the old you. That version of yourself thrives in hesitation, in waiting for the right time, in believing the story that change is too difficult or impossible. But the truth is, the only barrier between you and the life you want is the decision to begin. You don't need permission, a perfect plan, or a sign from the universe. You need commitment, a deep, unshakable promise to yourself that no matter how hard it gets, you will keep moving forward. Breaking free requires a mindset that refuses to be limited by past failures or fear of the unknown. Your past does not define you, it informs you. It is the foundation from which you build, not the cage that holds you captive. When you shift your perspective from victim to victor, you reclaim the narrative of your life. You become the author of your story instead of a character trapped by circumstance. This mindset shift is not just empowering, it is essential. Without it, transformation is impossible. Your emotions will fluctuate wildly as you dismantle the old you. You will feel fear, excitement, doubt, and hope all at once. This emotional turbulence is a sign that you are alive and changing. Don't try to suppress or ignore these feelings. Instead, acknowledge them as proof that you are on the edge of something significant. The key is to not let your emotions control you. Feel them fully, then act anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite fear. The process of transformation demands that you become ruthless with your time and energy. Every habit, every relationship, every thought that does not serve your growth must be questioned. This means creating space for what truly matters by cutting out distractions and toxicity. Your environment shapes you, and if you want to change, you must surround yourself with influences that elevate you. This includes the people you spend time with, the information you consume, and the actions you prioritize daily. The old you thrived in chaos and noise. The new you seeks clarity and focus. Action is the ultimate antidote to fear and doubt. The smallest step forward, taken consistently, compounds into unstoppable momentum. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in a day. You need to show up for yourself even in small ways every single day. These tiny victories build confidence, reinforce your new identity, and weaken the hold of the old you. Momentum breeds motivation, and motivation fuels transformation. Your commitment to breaking the old you is not a one-time event, but a lifelong journey. There will be days when you falter, when old patterns threaten to reclaim their place. When this happens, remind yourself that falling is part of growing. What matters is that you get back up, stronger and more determined. Each time you choose growth over comfort, courage over fear, you rewrite your story. The old you will fade until it becomes nothing more than a distant memory, replaced by the unstoppable force of who you have become. The path to breaking the old you is paved with choices, sometimes small, sometimes monumental, but every single one matters. Each decision to rise above fear, to push through doubt, to reject comfort in favor of growth adds a brick to the foundation of your new self. Transformation is not an event, it is a process sustained by consistent, deliberate actions. The moment you realize this, you unlock the power to take control of your life and your future. No longer are you a passive participant in your story, you become the active creator. The old you clings to familiar stories because they offer a false sense of security. These stories about who you are, what you deserve, and what is possible have been repeated so often that they feel like undeniable truth. But truth is not fixed. It is flexible and evolving. Your beliefs shape your reality. When you decide to change your beliefs, you change the lens through which you see the world and yourself. This shift in perspective is the catalyst for transformation. It allows you to see opportunity where you once saw obstacles and potential where you once saw limitations. Embrace discomfort as a sign of progress. Growth never occurs in a zone of ease. When you feel tension, resistance, or uncertainty, recognize that these sensations indicate you are expanding beyond your previous boundaries. Instead of retreating, lean into this discomfort. Welcome it as a teacher. Each uncomfortable moment challenges you to develop resilience, patience, and strength. The new you is forged in the fires of adversity, tempered by persistence and polished by unwavering commitment. Surround yourself with what nurtures your growth. Your environment, including the people you choose to engage with, the ideas you consume, and the habits you cultivate, profoundly influences your transformation. Clear out anything that drags you back into old patterns or fuels self-doubt. This act of curation is an essential form of self-respect. When your external world aligns with your internal vision, your energy flows freely toward your goals. The space you create becomes fertile ground for your new identity to flourish. Action is your most powerful ally in this journey. No amount of planning or dreaming can replace the impact of consistent, focused effort. Progress happens one step at a time. Each choice to act despite fear reinforces your new identity and weakens the hold of the old you. Momentum grows quietly but relentlessly. It transforms hesitation into confidence, doubt into certainty, and limitation into possibility. Remember, perfection is not the goal, progress is. Each day you show up, you affirm your commitment to transformation. Accountability anchors your growth. When you hold yourself responsible for your thoughts, words, and actions, you reclaim your power. This does not mean harsh judgment or self-criticism. It means honest reflection and a commitment to course correct when needed. Accountability transforms vague aspirations into concrete reality. It empowers you to face setbacks without losing sight of your vision. Your journey is your responsibility, and with that responsibility comes freedom. The freedom to shape your life on your terms. Breaking the old you is not a moment in time, but a lifelong pursuit. It requires courage, resilience, and unwavering belief in your potential. Every choice to grow chips away at the old identity and reveals the unstoppable force you are becoming. This is your call to action. Commit fully, embrace the discomfort, and step boldly into the life waiting on the other side of fear. Your transformation begins now. Your transformation is a commitment to yourself that demands patience, persistence, and relentless belief in your capacity to evolve. It's easy to become discouraged when progress feels slow or setbacks arise, but remember, lasting change is built through small, consistent actions over time. The old you thrived on instant gratification, excuses, and comfort. The new you understands that greatness is forged through endurance, discipline, and a refusal to give up. This mindset is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. You have within you a well of untapped strength that surfaces only when you decide to face your fears rather than avoid them. Each time you confront discomfort, each time you choose action over inaction, you deepen your connection to that strength. This connection grows into confidence, and confidence fuels courage. Courage is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want. Without it, transformation remains a distant hope. With it, the impossible becomes inevitable. The mental battle for transformation is fought in your daily choices. Your thoughts have more power than you realize. Negative self-talk and limiting beliefs are like chains that keep you tethered to the old version of yourself. They create a narrative of, I can't, I'm not enough, and this is too hard. But you have the power to rewrite this narrative. Challenge those thoughts. Replace them with affirmations of your worth, your strength, and your ability to change. Neuroscience proves that the brain is plastic. It can be rewired with repetition. Every positive thought is a step toward a new neural pathway, one that leads to a more resilient, empowered you. Growth requires more than just mental shifts. It demands action that aligns with your highest intentions. It's not enough to hope for change. You must actively participate in it. This means taking deliberate steps toward your goals every day, no matter how small. Each step forward breaks the hold of old habits and reaffirms your commitment to your future self. Momentum builds quietly but powerfully, turning small victories into monumental transformation. Surround yourself with influences that reflect the person you aspire to be. The company you keep, the content you consume, and the environments you inhabit all shape your mindset and behaviors. If you want to become unstoppable, you must curate your world intentionally. Distance yourself from negativity, toxicity, and distractions that feed doubt or complacency. Instead, seek inspiration, support, and challenges that push you toward your potential. This environment becomes the fertile soil where your new identity can take root and flourish. Accountability is a non-negotiable pillar of transformation. When you hold yourself responsible for your growth, you reclaim your power. This doesn't mean harsh self-judgment, but a clear-eyed commitment to honesty and action. Accountability transforms vague aspirations into concrete progress. It keeps you aligned with your vision even when motivation wanes. Remember, transformation is not a destination, but a lifelong journey of becoming. Every day you commit to that journey, you move closer to breaking the old you forever. This moment, right now, is your opportunity to decide who you will be. Will you cling to the safety of the old version or step boldly into the unknown with courage and conviction? The power to choose is yours. Your transformation begins with that choice. Embrace it, act on it, and watch as the old you fades, replaced by the unstoppable force of who you are meant to become. The transformation you seek requires relentless dedication to the truth of who you are and who you can become. There is no shortcut, no magic formula, only the unwavering choice to step into discomfort and keep moving forward. Your mind will resist. It will beg for familiar patterns, whisper doubts, and replay fears like a broken record. But each time you confront these mental barriers and choose action instead, you weaken their power over you. The space you create between impulse and response is where your true freedom begins. It is within this space that you decide not to be ruled by fear, but to be driven by purpose. The old you is a shadow cast by past conditioning, shaped by every limiting belief and negative experience you've accumulated. But shadows disappear in the light of awareness. When you bring full awareness to your thoughts and behaviors, you break their unconscious hold. Mindfulness of your inner world is not just a practice, it is the foundation of transformation. This awareness reveals the patterns that no longer serve you and uncovers the possibilities that await when you choose differently. You become an active participant in your evolution rather than a passive observer. Change demands that you rewrite your internal narrative with conviction and consistency. The stories you tell yourself shape your identity and dictate your potential. If you keep telling yourself you are not enough or that success is impossible, you trap yourself in a cycle of limitation. But if you begin to tell yourself stories of resilience, worthiness, and growth, you open the door to a new reality. These stories are not empty affirmations. They are powerful declarations that reshape your brain and transform your life. With repetition, they become your new truth. Growth is not an event. It is a process of daily renewal. It is the sum of countless small decisions to choose courage over fear, progress over perfection, and action over stagnation. The accumulation of these choices builds momentum that cannot be stopped. You may not see the changes immediately, but trust that each effort contributes to a larger transformation. Your persistence is the engine driving you toward a future where the old you no longer has a place. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is a strategic move, not a luxury. Your environment deeply affects your mindset, habits, and energy. If you want to break free from the old you must curate your surroundings with intention. Engage with people who inspire and challenge you. Consume information that fuels your growth rather than drains your motivation. Create spaces that encourage clarity and focus. This external alignment supports your internal shift, making your transformation more sustainable and powerful. Accountability is your anchor through this journey. It demands honesty and responsibility for every choice you make. Accountability means you no longer blame circumstances or others for where you are. Instead, you take full ownership of your growth and outcomes. This mindset shift is liberating because it places the power squarely in your hands. You become the master of your destiny, the architect of your transformation. With accountability, setbacks become lessons, challenges become opportunities, and the old you loses its grip. The decision to break the old you is the most important choice you will ever make. It is a commitment to yourself, your dreams, and the life you deserve. The path will not always be easy, but it will be worth every moment of struggle. You are capable of becoming more than you ever imagined. The power to transform lies within you. Choose it, claim it, and become unstoppable. Transformation demands a fearless commitment to becoming uncomfortable because comfort is the enemy of growth. Your old self clings to safety, familiar routines, and limiting beliefs because they create the illusion of control. But true control is found in embracing uncertainty and moving forward despite fear. Every time you choose discomfort over ease, you expand the boundaries of what you believe is possible. This is where real change happens, in the moments when you feel the urge to retreat but decide to advance anyway. Your courage in those moments is the fuel that breaks the chains of the old you. Your mind is your most powerful tool and your fiercest adversary. The thoughts you nurture become the foundation of your reality. When negative thoughts dominate, they create a prison that confines your potential. But when you intentionally cultivate empowering thoughts, you build a fortress of strength around your dreams. This mental shift is not about ignoring challenges, but about choosing which voice to amplify, the one that says I can rather than I can't. Your brain is remarkably adaptable, and with each empowering thought, you lay the groundwork for lasting transformation. Feelings of fear, doubt, and resistance are not signals to stop. They are indicators that you are on the path to growth. These emotions arise because you are stepping into new territory, leaving behind old identities that no longer serve you. Instead of fighting these feelings, lean into them. Acknowledge their presence and move forward regardless. This practice builds emotional resilience, the capacity to remain steady and focused even when your internal world feels chaotic. Resilience transforms obstacles into stepping stones and setbacks into lessons. The environment you create around yourself either nurtures your transformation or stifles it. It's essential to surround yourself with influences that align with your new vision. This includes the people you engage with, the media you consume, and the habits you practice daily. If your surroundings reinforce limiting beliefs or toxic patterns, they become anchors holding you back. By consciously choosing environments that inspire growth, challenge complacency, and support your goals, you set the stage for your new identity to flourish. Your external world should be a reflection of the person you are becoming. Accountability is the cornerstone of transformation. When you take full responsibility for your choices, you reclaim your power. This means no more blaming circumstances or others for where you are. It means honest reflection and commitment to change, even when it's uncomfortable. Accountability keeps you aligned with your vision and fuels consistent progress. It transforms vague desires into measurable actions and helps you stay committed when motivation wanes. The new you is forged through this unwavering responsibility to self. Breaking the old you is not a moment. It is a lifelong journey requiring patience, persistence, and faith in yourself. Every choice you make shapes who you become. The path will challenge you, but the reward is a life lived authentically, courageously, and fully. The power to transform is already inside you, waiting for your decision to step into it. Choose to break free today. Choose to become the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. Your transformation hinges on the unwavering choice to reclaim your power every single day. The old you may resist, clinging to familiar pain and patterns, but you have the strength to say no, to break free from cycles that no longer serve you. Power is not something given. It is something claimed through deliberate, consistent action. When you own your choices, your emotions, and your mindset, you build an unshakable foundation. This foundation becomes the launchpad from which your new self rises, unstoppable and resolute. It is essential to understand that transformation is a process of peeling away layers, the layers of fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs that have clouded your true potential. These layers have built protective walls, but they also trap you in a version of life that feels small and constrained. The work you do now is to dismantle these walls brick by brick. Each act of courage, every decision to confront discomfort, chips away at these barriers. This ongoing process is both a challenge and a liberation, freeing you to step fully into the expansive life waiting for you. The narratives you tell yourself shape your identity far more than external events ever could. If your internal dialogue is filled with stories of limitation, failure, or unworthiness, you will continue to live out those stories. But when you deliberately rewrite these narratives with stories of resilience, strength, and possibility, you begin to live in alignment with a higher truth. This is not about ignoring reality, but about choosing which truths you give power to. Your mind is a garden. The thoughts you plant and nurture grow into the life you experience. Tend to this garden with care, planting seeds of belief that nurture growth. Facing your fears is the crucible of transformation. Fear will always arise when you challenge the status quo of your life because your brain is wired to protect you from perceived threats. But growth requires that you move beyond these protective instincts. When you acknowledge fear without allowing it to control you, you build courage, the muscle that expands every time you use it. This courage propels you forward when the old you wants to retreat. It turns obstacles into opportunities and hesitation into momentum. Your environment plays a powerful role in your transformation. The people you surround yourself with, the habits you cultivate, and the energy you allow into your space can either fuel your growth or drain your progress. It is vital to curate these influences intentionally. Seek out connections that elevate your mindset and challenge your limits. Replace habits that no longer serve you with rituals that reinforce your new identity. This external alignment supports your internal change, creating a powerful synergy that accelerates your evolution. Accountability is the anchor that holds your transformation steady amid life's storms. Taking full responsibility for your growth means embracing your power to choose, regardless of circumstance. It demands honesty without judgment and a commitment to course correct when necessary. Accountability transforms vague desires into purposeful action, and it keeps you grounded in your vision even when motivation wanes. This discipline builds trust with yourself, the most important trust of all. The decision to break the old you is the greatest act of self-love you can offer. It requires courage, persistence, and faith in your capacity to change. The journey will test you, but it will also reveal your true strength. Every step you take forward is a declaration of your worth and your readiness to live fully and authentically. The power to transform is within you now. Choose to step into it and become the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. The journey to break the old you demands a fierce, unrelenting commitment to growth. Every day presents a choice, to remain bound by old patterns or to step boldly into your power. This choice is not easy because transformation shakes the foundations of your comfort and challenges the beliefs that have defined you for years. But it is precisely this shaking that opens space for something greater. The old you resists change because it fears loss of identity, security, and familiarity. Yet real security is found in becoming who you truly are, not in clinging to a false self. You must develop a mindset that welcomes challenge as the catalyst for growth rather than a threat to your stability. When discomfort arises, see it as the signpost pointing toward your next level. This shift in perspective transforms struggle from a reason to quit into a signal to persist. Your brain adapts to new ways of thinking and being through consistent effort, rewiring itself with each act of courage and resilience. This neuroplasticity is your ally, making change not only possible but inevitable when you commit to daily practice. Self-awareness is the foundation of transformation. You cannot change what you do not see. When you become conscious of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, you gain the power to choose differently. This awareness reveals the automatic reactions and limiting beliefs that keep you trapped in the old you. It shines a light on the moments where you unconsciously repeat patterns that no longer serve your growth. With this clarity, you can interrupt these cycles and create new, empowering habits. This is the essence of intentional evolution. Embracing vulnerability is essential in breaking free from your old self. Vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness, but it is actually the gateway to courage and authenticity. When you allow yourself to be seen, flaws, fears, and all, you dissolve the barriers that separate you from your true potential. This openness fosters connection, trust, and deeper self-acceptance. It gives you permission to shed the masks that the old you wore to protect yourself and step into a life grounded in truth and integrity. Your environment profoundly influences your transformation. It shapes your energy, focus, and beliefs. To break the old you, you must intentionally cultivate surroundings that support your growth. This may mean distancing yourself from negativity, distractions, and toxic influences. It also means immersing yourself in inspiration, positivity, and communities that uplift your vision. Your external world can either fuel your momentum or drain your resolve. Choose wisely. Your environment is the soil where your new self will take root and flourish. Accountability is your compass on this journey. It requires that you own every aspect of your transformation, your successes and your setbacks alike. Accountability is not about self-criticism. It is about honest reflection and unwavering responsibility. When you hold yourself accountable, you build integrity and self-trust, essential components of lasting change. This discipline keeps you aligned with your vision, even when external circumstances tempt you to stray. It empowers you to keep moving forward with purpose and clarity. The decision to break the old you is the most profound act of self-love and courage. It demands patience, persistence, and faith in your limitless potential. Though the path may be difficult, the reward is a life of authenticity, power, and fulfillment. The power to transform is already within you. Ignite it, nurture it, and let it propel you toward the unstoppable force you are destined to become. Transformation demands more than desire. It requires unwavering discipline and relentless action. The old you thrived in inertia, clinging to excuses and comfort zones that promised safety but delivered stagnation. The new you must embrace the power of consistent effort, knowing that every small step compounds into monumental change. This is not a journey for the faint-hearted. It is a call to rise each day with purpose and move forward, even when motivation wanes. Your commitment to discipline becomes the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Your mind will challenge this discipline constantly. Doubt will whisper lies, telling you that change is too hard, that you are not worthy, or that your efforts are futile. These thoughts are the remnants of the old you, trying desperately to maintain its hold. But you have the power to challenge these voices. Replace doubt with determination. Replace hesitation with resolve. The mental battle is the fiercest battle you will face, yet it is also the one that determines your transformation. With every victorious thought, you strengthen the neural pathways of confidence and resilience. Emotions will surge unpredictably. Fear, frustration, and impatience will arise as you stretch beyond your former limits. This emotional turbulence is the price of growth, not a sign of failure. Lean into these feelings without judgment. Acknowledge them as indicators that you are breaking through old barriers. Emotional resilience grows when you allow yourself to experience discomfort while staying committed to your path. It is the strength to face storms without losing sight of the sun that will eventually break through the clouds. Your environment must be an ally, not an obstacle. The people, places, and media you surround yourself with either elevate your energy or drain it. To nurture transformation, curate your environment with intention. Surround yourself with those who reflect your aspirations and support your growth. Remove distractions that dilute your focus and negativity that erodes your confidence. This conscious curation creates a fertile ground where your new identity can take root and flourish. Your external world must mirror the inner change you are cultivating. Accountability is the backbone of lasting transformation. Taking full responsibility for your progress means you stop blaming circumstances or others for your setbacks. Instead, you hold yourself to the highest standard of honesty and integrity. Accountability keeps you aligned with your vision, ensuring that even when motivation falters, your commitment does not. This practice builds trust with yourself, the most crucial relationship you will ever have. When you trust yourself to follow through, you unlock a power that makes you unstoppable. The old you will resist, and the path will be challenging, but the reward is freedom. The freedom to live authentically, powerfully, and on your own terms. Transformation is not a destination, but a lifelong commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Every choice to grow chips away at the old identity and reveals the strength and potential that were always inside you. The moment to act is now. Embrace discipline, conquer doubt, cultivate resilience, and hold yourself accountable. This is your moment to break the old you forever and step into the extraordinary life waiting on the other side.